Living alone after 60 isn't always what people imagine. At first, it may feel peaceful, quiet mornings, time to yourself freedom, but over time, that quiet can start to feel empty. It's not just the silence, it's the little things that begin to slip: missed medications, unopened mail, forgotten appointments. And one day you find yourself wondering, am I living fully or just passing time? This isn't just your story. It's one shared by millions of older adults across America. But here's the powerful truth: a few small changes can make all the difference. In this video, we'll explore 5 essential things to avoid when living alone in your later years. These are not just tips, they're lifelines. They come from real stories and real struggles, and they could be the key to protecting your independence, your health, and your joy. If you've ever asked yourself, is this all there is? You are not alone. Whether you're new to this stage of life or have been navigating it for years now, is the time to take control. Because you still have so much life left to live. And aging gracefully isn't just about looking young. It's about staying strong in body, clear in mind, and rich in connection. So if you care about senior health, healthy aging, and want to discover real longevity tips that help you live healthy after 50, stay with us. Like this video if it speaks to you. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because every week we share stories and advice that truly matter. Before we begin, tell me, what's the hardest part of living alone for you? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Now let's dive into the 5 silent mistakes that could be slowly stealing your freedom and how you can stop them before it's too late. Number 1, avoid losing purpose. There's something about an empty house that changes a person. No clock ticking in the hallway, no schedule demanding your attention. And without realizing it, the days begin to blur. For many older adults, retirement and living alone bring a freedom they've earned, but it also comes with something more difficult: the loss of routine, the lack of urgency, and most of all, the quiet erosion of purpose. You may find yourself waking up later than usual. No rush to get dressed, no one asking how your day will go. And slowly life begins to feel like it's just passing, not really being lived. This feeling is more common than you think. According to the National Institute on Aging, a strong sense of purpose is directly linked to better health outcomes in older adults. It improves sleep, boosts mood, even helps prevent aging diseases by lowering stress levels and supporting brain health. Without purpose, your mind starts to drift, your energy dips, and even basic habits like eating well or going for a walk can feel optional. But the good news: purpose doesn't have to come from a job or a paycheck. It comes from connection, from doing something that gives your day meaning. I want to share a story that still gives me goosebumps. In Des Moines, Iowa, there's a woman named Helen. She's 72, a retired school secretary who lost her husband 6 years ago. After his passing, Helen did what many people do. She tried to stay busy, tended the garden, watched old movies, cooked for one. But nothing filled the space that used to be full of conversation, laughter, and shared routines. One day, Helen's neighbor mentioned a local youth center that needed help, someone to supervise after-school homework time. Helen didn't feel ready. She hadn't worked with teenagers in years. She almost said no, but something about the invitation lingered. Maybe it was the idea of being needed. Maybe it was just curiosity. She showed up the next week nervous and quiet and sat in the back of the classroom while the kids filed in. They barely noticed her. But over the weeks, she started helping one student, then 2. A boy named Marcus asked her how to spell appreciate. A girl named Jenna handed her a drawing. "This is you, Miss Helen." By the 3rd month, Helen was showing up early. The staff gave her her own corner desk. The kids saved her a seat at lunch. And something in her eyes and her walk had changed. She said to me, "I don't feel like a retired widow anymore. I feel like someone the kids are counting on, and that makes me feel alive." That's the power of having purpose. It doesn't need to be loud or dramatic, it just needs to be real. Whether it's mentoring, volunteering, learning a new skill, or teaching someone else what you've learned, it gives your day direction. It gives your week a reason, and it gives your soul something to reach for. Healthy aging isn't just about nutrition or exercise, it's also about what you wake up for. When you have something to look forward to, something that matters, it changes how your body responds to life. You walk taller, you speak with more energy, you rest better. If you've been feeling like the spark has dimmed, I want you to remember it's not too late, not even close. Aging gracefully doesn't mean fading quietly. It means staying engaged. It means saying there's still more for me to give. Look for that more. because it's still out there waiting for you to find it. That's the beauty of over 60 wellness. You're not done becoming, you're just getting started in a new, deeper, more meaningful way. To avoid letting your home become a burden. There comes a moment when the house starts to feel too big. Not because it's changed, but because you have. The stairs feel steeper, the closets heavier, the quiet more noticeable. What once held family dinners and birthday candles now holds dust repairs and worry. At first, it's easy to ignore. You keep mowing the lawn, fixing the loose tiles, changing light bulbs on shaky ladders. But over time, those little tasks stop feeling small. They start to wear on you. Your energy fades quicker, your back aches more, and the joy of being in your own space is replaced by the pressure of maintaining it. The emotional weight is just as real. That kitchen still smells like Sunday pancakes. The hallway still echoes with memories of your children's footsteps. Letting go of a space like that can feel like letting go of the life you built. But here's something we don't say often enough. You are allowed to choose peace over pressure, comfort over clutter. Living in a house should support your health, not slowly drain it. Natural health for seniors isn't just about what you eat or how often you exercise. It's also about the space you live in. Your home should heal you, give you rest, wrap around you like a soft blanket at the end of the day. When it becomes a source of stress, something needs to shift. There's a man I once knew named Carl. He lived in Boise, Idaho. Carl was 76 and still living in the two-story home he bought with his wife nearly 40 years earlier. After she passed, he did everything himself, cleaning yard work, maintenance. For a while, it kept him going. But one winter, after shoveling snow for the third time in a week, Carl slipped on the driveway and fractured his wrist. He sat there in the cold thinking, why am I doing this? That fall, he downsized. Not into a facility, not into a sterile apartment, just a cozy one-bedroom with a porch and space for his books. He hired a local college student to help with errands twice a week. Carl said it felt like he could breathe again. His joints hurt less. He started cooking again. Joined a walking group at the park, and for the first time in years, he stopped worrying about gutters repairs or frozen pipes. He had more time for joy. That's the quiet magic of simplifying it, gives your life back. One of the longevity secrets we rarely talk about is reducing unnecessary stress. Studies show that chronic stress in older adults is linked to inflammation, heart problems, and cognitive decline. A burdensome home environment adds to that stress in ways we often overlook. It sneaks in through the leaky faucet you haven't had time to fix, or the anxiety of paying for constant repairs on a house that no longer fits your needs. Senior home remedies don't always come in a bottle or a teacup. Sometimes they come in the form of a smaller space, a more manageable lifestyle, or simply asking someone else to help rake the leaves. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. It's protecting your energy so you can use it where it matters most. If you love your home and want to stay, that's perfectly okay. But ask yourself, is the space lifting you up or holding you back? Can small adjustments be made? Would a once-a-month cleaning service ease your load? Could you declutter one room to make daily life smoother? You deserve a home that supports your body, your time, your spirit. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the idea that holding on is strength. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is choose what truly serves your well-being. Aging isn't about giving things up. It's about gaining clarity. And your home, your sanctuary, should be a place that reflects that. Simple, safe, and full of peace. Number 3, avoid believing you must do it all alone. Somewhere along the way, independence got confused with doing everything by yourself. But that's not what it really means. True independence is being able to make your own choices. It's knowing when to say yes and when to ask for help. Many older adults carry a quiet burden, the belief that needing help is a sign of weakness. That if you call your daughter to change a light bulb or ask a neighbor to bring in groceries, it means you're slipping. But that's not the truth. It takes strength to admit when something's too heavy. It takes wisdom to know your limits. Senior health isn't just about blood pressure or cholesterol. It's also about how supported you feel. The CDC reports that loneliness and social isolation are linked to a 29% increased risk of heart disease and a 32% increased risk of stroke. And much of that comes from people trying to manage everything on their own in silence. I once read the story of a woman named Patricia, 74 years old, living in upstate New York. After her husband passed, she kept the house running, paid the bills, cooked her meals, mowed the lawn. but she never asked for help. Not from her children, not from friends. She thought it would make her look incapable. Then one winter, the heat stopped working. She waited 2 days before telling anyone. When her son finally visited, he was shocked. She was wearing 2 coats inside the house, refusing to complain. "I didn't want to bother anyone," she said, but he didn't see it as a burden. He saw it as love withheld, a connection missed. Doctor tips for older adults consistently stress the importance of support systems, not just for emergencies, but for everyday life. Accepting help isn't surrender. It's a way to stay safer longer, to protect your energy, to preserve your health so you can keep living on your terms. Asking someone to carry a box doesn't mean you've lost strength. It means you've chosen not to strain your back. Calling a neighbor when you feel unwell isn't weakness, it's protection. And letting your family know you'd like more visits isn't neediness, it's human. The goal isn't to give up control, it's to recognize that life is lighter when shared. That even small things, a ride to the doctor, a hand with laundry, a weekly chat, can make all the difference. The truth is, none of us are meant to do everything alone. We all need someone, and there is quiet courage in reaching out. You are still the captain of your ship, but even captains have a crew. You've spent decades being strong. Now is the time to be wise. Preserve your independence not by shutting others out, but by letting the right people in. That's not giving up control. That's living smart. Support is not just helpful, it's healing. It lowers stress, it boosts your mood, it helps prevent burnout, fatigue, and emotional loneliness, all major threats to senior health. Don't let pride keep you isolated. Don't let fear rob you of connection. If you need a hand, ask. If someone offers help, accept. That small act could be the thing that keeps you safe, or makes you smile, or helps you sleep better at night. Being independent doesn't mean being alone. It means building a life where you still feel in charge while knowing someone's there if you stumble. And that kind of security, that's a gift you give yourself. Number 4, avoid neglecting your health. When you live alone, it's easy to push things off. One skipped walk turns into a week on the couch. A missed checkup gets pushed to next month. Then before you realize it, your health, the one thing you can't replace, starts to slip away. Most people don't ignore their health on purpose. It just happens. You feel fine. You get used to the quiet. There's no one reminding you to take your pills or check your blood pressure. No one asking if you've eaten or gone outside. But neglect, even the quiet kind, always leaves a mark. The National Institute on Aging reports that older adults who maintain routine health habits have a much higher chance of staying independent longer. This includes things like daily movement medication, management, regular checkups, and sleep. These aren't luxuries, they're building blocks. They are daily habits for longevity, and they matter more with every passing year. There's a man I remember named Joe. He lived in Sacramento and had always been strong. The kind of man who'd built his own porch and cut his own firewood. But after his wife passed, things changed. He stopped seeing his doctor, stopped refilling prescriptions, told himself he'd get around to it. Months went by. He was still walking but slower, still eating but mostly canned soup. Then one morning he collapsed in his kitchen. The paramedics said it was preventable. His blood pressure had climbed without him knowing. Joe spent 6 weeks recovering in rehab. When he returned home, he said, "I thought ignoring it meant I was fine." But silence doesn't mean health. Senior health tips often sound basic. Take your meds, stretch each morning, go for a walk. But these are not chores. They are gifts. They are quiet promises you keep to yourself. Every time you choose to take care of your body, you're choosing freedom, choosing strength, choosing more days spent on your feet, not in a hospital bed. You don't have to run marathons, you just have to move. A 20-minute walk each morning can improve circulation, balance, mood, and even memory. Light stretching helps ease stiffness, especially in the hips and back. Drinking water, eating whole foods, and sleeping well. These things are the foundation of aging well. If you're managing chronic conditions, it's even more important. Prevent aging diseases by staying ahead of them. Keep your doctor in the loop. Keep your numbers in check. Keep your health in your own hands. Because once it slips too far, getting it back becomes much harder. You don't need a nurse to stay well, but you do need a system. Set phone alarms for your pills. Write reminders on the fridge. Keep a calendar of appointments. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. These small habits done daily can save your life. And don't forget about mental health. Being alone can lead to sadness, anxiety, or emotional fatigue. Talk to someone, a friend, a counselor, even your doctor. Emotional stress can weaken the immune system and raise the risk of illness. Your mind and body are connected. Take care of both. When you take your health seriously, life becomes lighter. You have more energy, more clarity, more control. Health isn't just survival, it's freedom. It's what lets you enjoy the moments that matter. The walk to the mailbox, the phone call with your grandchild, the quiet morning coffee on the porch. If no one else is checking in on you, then check in with yourself. Ask, did I move today? Did I take what I needed? Did I give my body what it's asking for? Because every day you show up for your health is one more day. Life shows up for you. You've got more chapters to write. Don't let your health be the reason the story ends too soon. Avoid clutter in your home and heart. There's a kind of clutter that isn't just physical. It hides in old drawers and untouched closets. But it also hides in memories, regrets, and the quiet things we refuse to let go of. And over time, it starts to weigh us down. Your home should bring you peace, a place to rest, a place to breathe. But when every corner is filled with things you no longer use or emotions you haven't faced, that peace starts to disappear. Clutter doesn't always look like piles of newspapers or crowded countertops. Sometimes it's unopened boxes in the garage, or clothes that haven't been worn in 10 years, or old letters that bring more pain than comfort. These things carry history, but holding on too tightly can keep you stuck. Natural health for seniors isn't just about food and fitness. It's also about how your environment makes you feel. A clean, calm space supports your heart, your sleep, even your digestion and blood pressure. There's a woman I once met named Carol. She was 69 and lived in a quiet neighborhood in Pennsylvania. Her husband had passed 4 years earlier. Since then, she hadn't touched his closet. His favorite shoes still sat by the back door. His shaving kit was still under the sink. At first, it felt like keeping him close, but slowly it became something else. She stopped inviting people over, felt anxious in her own home. She told me every time I walked into the bedroom, I felt like I was walking backward. It wasn't helping her heal. It was keeping her from living. One day, with the help of her daughter, she began sorting through his things. It wasn't easy. There were tears, long pauses, but she kept going. She chose just a few items that truly mattered: a watch, a photo, his old flannel jacket. The rest she donated, shared, or gently let go. And something shifted. She said the air felt different. The house felt like mine again. It didn't erase her grief, but it made room for something else. Light, joy, movement. That's the heart of this advice. Decluttering isn't about erasing the past. It's about honoring it and then choosing to keep living. When you create space in your home, you also create space in your mind. Senior home remedies aren't just in the pantry. They can be found in the act of cleaning a shelf, releasing an old box, opening a window. Letting go is one of the most healing things you can do for your body and your spirit. Studies from UCLA have shown that clutter in older adults is linked to higher cortisol levels, increased fatigue, and even disrupted sleep. When your surroundings feel chaotic, your nervous system stays tense. But when your space feels calm and open, your entire body relaxes. You don't have to do it all at once. Start with a single drawer or just one shelf. Ask yourself, does this still serve me if it doesn't pass it on? If it does, find a place for it. Take small steps. The freedom will come. And don't forget the emotional clutter, old guilt, old disappointments. If you've been holding on to something in your heart, write it down. Talk to someone. Say it out loud. Let it breathe. Let it move through you. You deserve a home that supports the person you are now, not just who you were years ago. A space that feels fresh, that welcomes joy, that gives you energy instead of draining it. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means you're ready to live with more lightness, more ease, more peace. Make room, not just in your closet, but in your heart, because there is still more life waiting for you, and it deserves space to grow. To live alone is not a failure. It is simply a different kind of journey, one that asks you to listen more closely, to move with intention, to find meaning in the small, quiet moments. Every morning walk, every meal you prepare with care, every kind word you offer. These are not small things. They are daily habits for longevity. They are proof that your days still have weight, that your presence still matters. Maybe you didn't choose this season of life, But you can still choose how you live it. You can still create joy. You can still build a routine that strengthens your body and lifts your spirit. The truth is, you are not done. Your story still holds chapters yet to be written, and your choices today will shape the freedom you feel tomorrow. If this video gave you a new way to see your own strength, please like it. Subscribe to Live Healthy After 50. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss another step on your journey. Because living alone doesn't mean living less. It means you now have the space to live fully and live wisely. Your health is your greatest wealth, and you deserve to protect it.